Hey friends, welcome to Garden with Creekside and this week's nursery tour. It's a little bit of a rainy, misty morning here at Creekside, but hey, the show must go on and we're having a great day. Okay, a lot of fun things. So of course, we have our online special for this week we're going to talk about, and we got new shrubs in here at the nursery. All right, so first things first, let's talk about the online sale. This week, right? So for this week, the online special is that all the coreopsis are half off, right? So we have already marked them down, regularly $18.99. They are now $9.50. That is 50% off. If you do the math, it's basically a buy one, get one free, right? Except you don't have to worry about a coupon code. We just go ahead and automatically mark it down 50% off. So that way you don't have to worry about a coupon code. You just see that coreopsis, you love it, and stick it in your cart and boom, there you go. Now, the coreopsis, what we have are the new introductions for next year. So Proven Winners has come out with the line is called Designer Threads. This is Scarlet Ribbon. Now y'all, it just poured down rain and they're a little bedraggled, and it is August. So the reason that I have two of the exact same plant, I wanted to show you. All of our perennials are in quart size containers. So when you order online, you're going to get a quart size container. So there's two ways that you may get your plant. One, it could be like this, that is completely untrimmed, right? So this is just how it's been growing in the production greenhouse, or it may come to you like this. All I did was simply go in and trim it back, right? Because our box is only so tall. So sometimes with the box, I have to go ahead and prune the plant so that you don't get a plant that's been crushed in the box. Now, is one better than the other? No, not really. If I had to choose which plant Jenny personally got, which one would I want? I'd want this one. Do you know why? Because we've already pruned it back. You don't have to worry about pruning it. You literally can take this and put it in the ground. These are very healthy, very vigorous plants. So all you gotta do is just simply wiggle, wiggle, squiggle. My hands are wet, y'all. Wiggle, squiggle, and there you go. Coreopsis is a very vigorous grower. Now, is this root bound? No, it's not. Would I go in there and zhuzh it up a little bit? I sure would. Go ahead and plant this directly into your ground. Now, the designer threads are really fun. I think there's 3 or 4 colors in that line. They are full sun plants, 16 to 18 inches tall. They are gorgeous, y'all. I have one growing in the backyard next to some lavender. Stunning. I love this. Coreopsis tend to be more continuous bloomers than some other perennials, and they are hardy in zones 5 to 9. Great performance out of the new designer threads. It's called designer threads because it's a very fine leaf coreopsis, and of course the gorgeous colors. So don't have to have a coupon code. $9.50 for your quart. There you go. All right, now that is online only. We don't have these coreopsis, no. So that is the benefit of ordering online, is that you get to have exclusive opportunity to get the new introductions. I don't have the designer threads here at the nursery, so even if you're local and you want to get them, go ahead and grab them online. And as you know, my sweet people, the early bird gets the worm, because typically these plants that we're putting on special, they're gone by Monday afternoon or Tuesday morning. So move with purpose. Don't think, oh, I'll come back this afternoon and grab it. It'll probably be gone. Get it now. Do not leave it in your cart. Just because you put it in the cart does not mean it is saved. It comes out of inventory once you pay. So just because it's in your cart does not mean that it is safe, my darlings. All right, so here we go. Shrubs. It's so nice to see a whole fresh new slew of shrubs here at the nursery. Now we're in the process because we have this delivery that is ready to go right now. And later this week, we're gonna have an even bigger order come of shrubs and perennials and all sorts of great things. So we're waiting for these new shrubs to come, and we fill in the shrub lot as we go, of course, right? If you watched the tour that I did up at the chicken coop just the other day, and I was doing the pot with the mangave, and I talked about the Mucho Gusto Abelia, well, y'all, here you go. Here you have a beautiful, y'all, this thing is spectacular, a 3-gallon shrub. What you saw in the landscape of the chicken coop, I planted as a 1-gallon. This is a 3-gallon. It is stunning. Abelias, of course, are full sun. They are starting to do their little white flowers. They are evergreen. They're a nice mounded shrub, brand new from Proven Winners. I love it. I mean, you saw it up there against that limelight hydrangea, and it was stunning. Jerry wants to tell me something now.
So forget the mum and popping a billy in.
Yeah, forget the mum, stick in all these. We're gonna have a lot of fun. So that's when this next order comes, which will be this week. We're gonna do a video on that. But there are a lot of great components that are perennials that you can make stunning fall arrangements with that you're gonna love. Okay, so mucho gusto. Next, you know that I'm a huge fan of gardenias. This is the Diamond Spire from our friends at Southern Living. Of course, gardenias are going to be evergreen. I love the Diamond Spire because it is a columnar gardenia. It has the coolest foliage. To me, it looks like a thumbprint, and it has super green, glossy leaves. It is a single bloom. It's not a double bloom, but it still has that classic gardenia fragrance. Again, I have seen many people put these in containers, like right on their front porch. If you get a full sun front porch, pop this in and you can leave it for, I mean, years until it outgrows the pot. So this is a really cool one. And if you wanted to put pansies or, you know, violas or what under around it, it would be gorgeous. Gardenias are evergreen. Here we have another absolutely, I'm going to talk about these two together, right? Beloved plants. This is a classic combination that we have used for years and years and years with our customers. You have the Purple Daydream Loropetalum. It is one of the most petite Loropetalums. Y'all, this Loropetalum is not the Loropetalum that is beside the terrace garden, right? The terrace garden has Loropetalums that are like 15 feet tall, not Purple Daydream. Purple Daydream is going to be 2 to 3 tall, 3 to 4 wide. It is an evergreen. It keeps this gorgeous deep purple foliage on it. It is rated for like full to part sun, and then of course sunshine ligustrums. I mean, like y'all literally, this is a landscape right here. You could do this however you wanted to and arrange this whole section. You have got a great evergreen landscape right here. Sunshine ligustrums, these are going to be your tallest ones. This chartreuse lime green is an evergreen. Gorgeous color. Pair it with all of this and it works beautifully together. This would be more of a full sun landscape. So full sun, remember, is 6 hours. Full sun doesn't have to be all day. It just needs to be at least 6 hours. Now, y'all loved it the other day or the other week when Jerry was talking about the Chef's Choice rosemary, and he was like, you know, put this in your landscape and then you can, you know, add it to your chicken for supper. So Chef's Choice is a gorgeous rosemary. Rosemary, of course, is an herb, right? But we use this even in the landscape as an evergreen structure. Think about it as a grass, right? It has that kind of that formation like a grass does, but grasses will turn brown and go dormant in the wintertime. Rosemary is not. So you have that great benefit of that. And then of course you go by and it smells so good. So the rosemary, the Chef's Choice, this is going to be basically a 2x2. So it's getting there really well. Sprinter boxwoods, use these a ton. We have them in the signature garden. Love this. This is a Japanese boxwood, not an English. So it is more resistant to like boxwood blight. Great evergreen, sun or shade. And talking about a mum in a pot, here we go. And you cannot ask better for a better name for the fall. Candy corn spirea. This is probably one of the absolute best sellers of spireas that we have. You can see why it's called candy corn, because it has that great color variation in it, right? So spireas, they are deciduous. That's okay. Mix them in with these other evergreens, and in the wintertime, you won't mind that you miss it. But in the springtime, they do these hot pink, like raspberry flowers on them that are gorgeous. Your spireas, if you're not pruning them back in late winter, you need to do that. Just take your clippers and just give it a bowl cut, right? Just give it a really good shape, because these bloom on new growth. So when you trim them, they flush out and they are stunning. They are gorgeous. Your candy corn is going to be basically in the south, especially 2.5 tall and wide, hardy in zones 4 to 8. Another Loropetalum, this is going to be bigger. This is ever red, I believe. sorry, Cerise Charm. We have Ever Red coming, that's in the next one. So Cerise Charm is, I would say, is one of the darkest foliages. It really is that deep, dark purple, and it has those bigger leaves on it, so it makes a bigger impression out there in the landscape. That get everything, Jerry?
Yeah, man, it holds its purple
Yes.
longer than the other.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. So if you can envision what the other ones were like, this is a true like deep dark purple all the way through the plant. You really get very little hints of green in it, so it makes for a bigger impact on it. And then this one is going to be a little bit bigger, is it not? 3 to 4. Not massive, but just 3 to 4. We're trying to figure out if it's raining or if it's just the wind. And then last but not least, as far as here, right in this particular spot, y'all, this is the Touch of Gold. This is a soft touch holly from our friends at Southern Living. They gave me 3 of these, and I have them up at the chicken coop. Y'all, I have been so impressed with these plants. I planted them like right after we did the chicken coop, so they've been in the ground for a year. And you know how horrible that red clay is up there. I mean, it is atrocious. These things have done so well. They are evergreens. Yes, they're a holly, but they're a soft touch holly, so they're not prickly at all. And they just form these low mounds. They'll go wider than they are tall, and they keep this gorgeous chartreuse color. So while I don't say it's a ground cover, it acts like a ground cover. We had some customers here last weekend, and they have banks, like slopes, and they're like, we need things to hold the bank. This would be perfect for them. Pair it with your loropetalums, pair it with any of that stuff, but you have that bright chartreuse color. These are stunning. Love this, and yes, you may look at it like this plant compared to like the loropetalum. It's gonna be a more petite plant by itself. It's not that these are like super young or immature plants. They're not. They're just going to be a more petite plant. You can see just the size difference, like the mature size difference in the growth habit.
I'm just like getting excited about putting all these things in pots and making a fall decoration.
I know. So we have, like the trough, you know, we are going to have fun with the water trough because it's going to be a nice big container that we can put these things in. It's going to be great. All right, now, okay, my peoples, lilacs. I always thought, well, first of all, I did not grow up here in North Carolina with lilacs in the garden. Like, as you know, I grew up here in North Carolina. I have extended family in Low Country, South Carolina. Lilacs were not part of my childhood. Gardenias were part of my childhood. And it wasn't until, just a few years ago, I never even thought we could grow lilacs here, right? You see these in colder areas like the UP of Michigan, right? You go to Mackinac Island and they have these massive, huge lilacs. They tend to like cooler climates. Well, Terry, who was our rep with Spring Meadow Nursery, who is the home of the Proven Winners Color Choice Shrubs, she said that she had growers in the South that had great results with the Bloomerang dark purple. And so I was like, well, I'll give it a whirl. So put it out in the garden right there, out of the patio, you know, where like the garden shed is, my David Austin roses. Y'all, this thing is phenomenal. When I say it's not full sun, it's all day hot, intense sun. And Bloomerang dark purple does great. You can see these classic lilac blooms on it. And because I'm not used to having the lilac smell in my garden, this spring I was out there, you know, working and doing all these things, and I'm like, man, there is just this lovely fragrance. Y'all, it took me days to realize it was the lilac because I'm just not familiar with that. It is just heavenly. So Bloomerang dark purple, even here in North Carolina Zone 8A, full sun. Now mine is on irrigation, drip irrigation. I do think that helps a lot, but they're hardy in zones 3 to 7, 4 to 6 tall and wide. These do bloom on old growth and they are rebloomers. This is why they're blooming now. So if you get this plant, don't cut on it at all until, if you wanted to shape it up, wait till next spring after it blooms and then you can give it a little haircut. But please don't cut them now or you're cutting off your blooms for next year. So we have that. And then doozy. Double play doozy. Now I know that candy corn gets a lot of attention because of that flaming chartreuse color. But if I had to say, Which one would be my favorite between the two? I would probably say Doozy. Doozy we have in the backyard. This is what is behind the Incrediballs, or in front of the Incrediballs, however you want to look at it. This is such a great cold hardy plant. Again, it is deciduous. It will do, here you can show you the raspberry blooms on it because it's blooming right now. It is a rebloomer. These are all going to be sterile. All of your spireas from Proven Winners are sterile. That is why they're reblooming. And so you don't have to worry about getting little babies everywhere. But this one, the reason that I say that I like this one better is because in the spring, inevitably, we warm up. The plants start to wake up, they're happy, they're putting on all this new growth, and then you get a hard freeze, right? Doozy can handle that sudden drop in cold temperatures where sometimes candy corn freaks out a little bit. It will defoliate and then it has to start all over again. So personally, I like Doozy better because it's better in that early spring. And again, full all day hot sun that I have these, and they are just phenomenal. And then now we can say last but not least is soft serve. Now, soft serve, let me pull one apart so you can really see its shape and its habit. So soft serve is obviously an evergreen. This is from our friends at Proven Winners. It is a false cypress. It is a camariciferous, and it is really done very well here in the South. It is hardy in zones 4 to 8. This will be a tree, okay? This is going to be 6 to 10 tall, 5 to 6 wide. It is that classic Christmas tree shape. You do not have to prune it. So if you are looking for some sort of accent, maybe it is on the edge of your house. If you have a nice, good sized house, this would work. Privacy screen going down your property line would be beautiful. Relatively fast grower, right? So it's manageable. It's not as big as a green giant, which can be, 30 feet tall and 15 feet wide at the base. So soft serve, I love this. And it gets its name because you can see, yes, we did have a little bit of rain, but it has kind of that very soft look to it. It physically is soft. It's not going to poke you like a juniper or a cedar. But it has, I won't say it's a weeping habit, but it's a very soft, flowing, kind of downturned leaves on it. Love this. If you're looking to put something in a big container for the winter and then add it to the landscape, this would be a great one, even in a large container. Put some Christmas tree lights on it, and then boom, there you go. So love the soft serve, and that will do really well. Now, we do have some other fun things up here that we're going to talk about. And so let's mosey on up here. If you are looking to add hydrangeas to your landscape, now's the time. Go ahead and start going out and shopping for your hydrangeas. I really dislike planting hydrangeas really even in June, July, and August, but from the chicken coop that I have bought hydrangeas, I've just not planted them. So I keep them in a container, put the little saucer around them, and they are extremely happy. Look how well overall the new intros are doing. They are doing really nicely. So up here, we've got some new roses. And before we go too much further, Vitexes. We haven't talked about Vitexes very much. Vitex, you may not be familiar with it, but this is that tree in the South. It's a small tree that you may look at and you're like, that looks like a giant butterfly bush. Now, it currently is has stopped blooming. This particular one has, but they have light lavender flowers. You want to talk about a massive pollinator attractor? This is it. So Vitexes are going to have that multi-trunk. You can keep it limbed up, right? So you can use it, you can underplant it. It loves the heat. It loves the humidity. Nice lavender flowers that your pollinators are going to go nuts over. And it's a later bloomer, so therefore you get late season interest on it. This is a great addition that I know you're going to love. All right, now, look. Oh, that one. Yeah, is that crema? I think this is, yes, this is reminiscent crema. So the roses have started blooming again, even at the house. I was just walking on the back patio last night, and it was the Poet's Wife is starting, Susan Williams Ellis, they're starting that other flush. Remember, we just whacked them back not too many weeks ago. But crema, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. So the reminiscent series from Proven Winners they're reminiscent of those old-fashioned roses. Gorgeous flower and a fragrance. So there you go. And the reminiscents are going to be hardy in zones 4 to 9, basically 3 feet tall, 2 feet wide. And your roses are full sun, so keep that in mind. Now, this is something fun and funky. Let me just pull it out just a little bit, that Cece and I were quite intrigued with when we were placing this order that we just got. Y'all, this is a 2-tier rose. It is on a bamboo, stakes, but it has like a pom-pom, right? So this would be really fun in a container. This particular one is the, oh shoot, I forget what color this one is. Obviously it's a deep red, but it has that 2-tier pom-pom effect. Quite fun. You never know sometimes when you're ordering these things, but it sounded really cool, and so there you go. So we got those, and then if the 2-tier pom-pom was too much for you, we've got 2 of those, and then we also have them as kind of like a little tree form, right? So they're in that standard pom-pom form as well. So you've got those. It is definitely a great time to start thinking about perennials, right? So add in your perennials and get them in the ground. So whether you're looking at some nepitas, you want to add in phloxes, the cat's pajamas, right? All of those daylilies. Great time from now until December, really, is a great time to add those shrubs and those perennials into your garden. Hostas are still buy one, get one free here at the nursery, and they evidently have been going out the door. That's excellent. So in this next delivery that's coming this week, there may or may not be some really fun little petite hostas. Don't tell Jerry, but Cece and I ordered more hostas. We did, but they are like the mouse series, so like Sun Mouse, Minnie Mouse, all these the little tiny little petite ones that you can put in containers and all this other fun stuff. So even though Jerry fusses at me for ordering hostas, I still ordered more because I'm looking out for you and myself because they're fun. So be on the lookout for that video this week. It'll be later in this week. I'm not sure exactly what day because of like when are they going to actually come and all that. But y'all, there are some very, very fun things on that truck, and it is a whole truckload coming just here to Creekside. So we will take you along for the ride on that. But yeah, so come see us. If you don't buy these like caladiums and all the annuals, Jenny's just is going to plant them. So come get them before they end up in my landscape. As always, we appreciate you. Open on Wednesdays through Saturdays, 9 to 3. We will see y'all in the next video. Get the Coreopsis if you want them. Get them online. $9.50. Gorgeous quartz. We'll see you on the next video. Bye, friends.